Good morning. I was worried my camera wasn't going to work because it was not showing me the same pre-thing that it usually does on my screen. It seems to be working. And my mic seems to be working. So I'm a little bit early. I've got music in my ear. I can't help myself. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Lynn. And Lynn says can't stay. Enjoying the fun today. Off to watch the youngest grand boy in the nativity in the local church. We'll watch the replay later. Aww, have fun. I miss that when little ones had Christmas things to do. YouTube has been giving me nothing but fits for several days. I don't trust it. I started to say it looks like I might be all alone, but YouTube has been lying to me for days. So good morning, Deborah. Let's get a wait a few more minutes. I don't know if YouTube's fibbing. It says it's just me and Deborah. Anyway, guess I should introduce myself just, for the record. Hi, I'm Coleen here at Coleen Sews and Chats on YouTube, and I live stream Tuesdays at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Usually have a free pattern and tutorial. I use those words loosely because millions of people do it better than me. That doesn't stop me because I enjoy it. And I have some show and tell, just a little bit of show and tell, a little bit of housekeeping, and then a very fast block. And hopefully troublemaker in the other room doesn't mess with my internet because I will end him. I said it. Oh. I was told he wasn't going to get up and bug me. Oh, it is so funny that it's just a couple of us here. I'm going to keep talking like I wouldn't anyway. The lady I like watches, Sophia, over at My Great Challenge, and I'm going to get her link in here. Let's see. What is it? Yeah, pardon me while I type. I was watching her and it was so funny. Her kids, both of them combined, act like this one. They're sitting at the table after she'd redone, and I'm watching some old ones. I started watching her back in, I think it was 2016 is when I started watching her. And that's before I knew how to navigate YouTube. So it was just whatever they showed me, I played. Now I know how to go back and get the older stuff. Anyway, she redid her kitchenette and she has plates sitting on the table. She has her younger son and her husband sitting there. She's like, actually, it was this summer that she did that, this last summer. And she's saying, how do you like it? Is it comfortable? Talking to him. And the son is sitting there, and she says, I still need to put plates on, pointing at the walls. And he points at the table, and he says, plate. And her husband, because I think he's kind of like mine, although he has a very good sense of humor too. Anyway, she points at the table. Good morning, Sherry. I'm just telling a story real quick that reminded me of my husband and son. Points to the table and he says, plate. And his dad nicely starts to explain to him, no, that's not the plate she's talking about. She's talking about the plates that need to go over the electrical covers. And he looks at him and he says, you need a sense of humor. Very straight faced. And I think she said something like, he knew what I meant. It was like, we have that same conversation. In fact, mine tried to troll me the other day. I can't remember what it was. I was sitting there. We play stupid. That's what we do. We play stupid, like we don't understand basic English or basic things. So I didn't mean it like that. And he says, what do you mean? My son says that. And I'm sitting there contemplating what kind of sarcastic comeback I'm going to have. Before I open my mouth, my husband explains it to him. He says, I was playing with mom. I was like, you need to get with the program. This is how we play. Anyway, it was just so funny. And then they were cutting down a tree, and I was like, I was going to show that to my husband. She had a chainsaw, but she didn't get to use the chainsaw because she broke the chainsaw. I was like, darn, I was this close to getting a chainsaw. Getting one in my hands. We have a chainsaw. I'm just not supposed to use it. I hope everybody had a good weekend and a good Monday. And I have some quick show and tell, a couple quick announcements, and we will get to the block. And I'm probably shouting at you because I was also listening to music in my ear because that's what I like. Okay, coffee, and then we'll get on with it. Oh, I need my cards too. There is a link to this, and I did check Halos. Our friend Angel over at Halo Inspired. Did I have it? No, it's on right. To see if she still has this. I am not an affiliate. I am not sponsored. I really like it. And that's where I got mine. You can probably find them other places, and you do you. I got Happy Mail over the weekend for Christmas from overseas, from one of my subscribers / friends. I hate saying just one of the subscribers because I really think of everybody as my friend. And this, it's a Henry Glass panel. It has been hanging on my front door with this facing inside as is since I got it. I am going to put some blocks around it, and I'm thinking maybe flying geese. I don't know. I don't know yet. It hasn't told me what it wants me to do with it yet. Anyway, it's been hanging on my front door because it's just, it fits in my house, which is wonderful. It's something I get to keep. I'm not going to give away when I make it. Okay. Sorry. I can't just wad things up and throw them at that's not who I am. And she told me, oh, this one, come on, that's all right. She sent me some Tilda fabrics. I don't know what this one is. I haven't looked at the thingy. I was just, oh, they're so pretty. This one is a bunch of sewing machines. It's a bunch of sewing machines. I'm always wanting to get fabric with sewing notions and stuff on it, but then I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I can make a case. I can make a pad. I could make anything with it. I need a plan before I buy it. And these have found homes on my shelf right up front. Anyway, here's the Tilda fabrics. And I haven't bought Tilda before. I think this looks familiar. I think I have it in a glittery type thing or something very close to it because it looks familiar. Also gifted years ago. These are just so pretty. And Sylvie has been doing her Advent calendars. Thank you. Deborah says, so pretty. Sylvia's been doing Advent calendar openings over on her channel, and she's got the cutest stuff. I know I don't have a fancy sewing room, and I'm going to put Sylvie in there since I just said her name, and I'll put the rest of the ladies too. I don't have a fancy sewing room. Enter. But I thought, well, I'm nosy. I like to see how people keep their sewing stuff. I like to see how people keep their stuff in general. That's why I watch Organizing with my friend Dee Dee. And also my great challenge, Sophia, that I was just talking about. But oh, Sherry says, I have that Tilda fabric. I made a quilted jacket with it. Oh, that would be pretty. I can see that. Anyway, I digress. Big words. What was I saying? Oh, I thought, well, maybe there's something that'll kick off some inspiration in someone else. They'll see, oh, I could use that, or I could use that, or, I don't know. I'm nosy. So I thought I would just do a walkthrough of where I keep my stuff. It ain't fancy. It ain't all those pretty bolts and, you know, what's it called when you go in the rainbow order. It ain't that, but it works for me. It works for my brain. And for now, that is always changing. The more comfortable I get with certain colors, the more dedicated space I'll give to them. And I was thinking, I need to somehow organize what little scraps I have into rainbow colors. I don't think I really want to do that, but my brain keeps telling me you do. Deborah says she has gotten such pretty fabric. She has, and the needle minder, I think, was the most recent I saw. So I'm on top chat. That might make me miss somebody. I'm sorry. I thought I was having trouble with my camera, and I went out, I came back in, and it changed my stuff. Today is the last day of the holiday hop with Melissa at Practically Creative, myself, Sylvia, you and me, FPP, and Dawn at My Quilt Projects. And today is Dawn's Day. Let's see, where are my links? If you look in your chat box, is this the right side? Okay, I give up. I'm backwards. If you look in your chat box, and drop that down, you will see links to all the channels that I name. I need to get Halo in there too. Give me just a second. Hopefully I spelled the names right, because I'm a horrible speller. Whoops. That is certainly not how you spell Dawn. Halo. And I did mention my friend Dee over at My Big Tidy Up. So all their links will be over here. I have the box pinned to the top comment so you can see what it is, even if you want to shop around somewhere else. There is nothing affiliated and nothing sponsored on my channel, just for anybody who may be new. Oh, okay. Those are going to go back to their home at night. Things need homes. Things need homes. I can't have random things. They need a place where they live. Okay. Whew. That was a lot of talking about. Oh. Okay. I'm convinced that this is how it works. Bear with me. Hopefully I spelled that right. I probably spelled that wrong. When you give somebody a shout and they show up in your chat, you need to shout somebody famous. And mine is usually Tom Selleck because I think it's funny. I think that has 2 L's. Should probably learn to spell his name right. I'm a horrible, horrendous, awful speller. Awful, awful, awful. What are you working on? Are you going to be live Wednesday or video Wednesday? Keep an eye out on her channel. And if you visit my friends or my moderators, please be sure to give them a subscribe, thumbs up, ring that bell so you don't miss notifications. YouTube has been very bad about not giving notifications lately, though. I have tried the unsubscribing and resubscribing thing, and that didn't work either. So, but it is helpful. And don't forget that thumbs up. If you do nothing else, please give them a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. It helps YouTube and get us out there a little bit more, and my friends. And I'm not talking for me specifically. You do you, but I'd really like my friends to get thumbs up and subscribers. Darn it. Deborah, I don't know if I want to be friend now. She said, not going to happen, LOL. Live with Cherub Chit Chat, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So I might need this. Leave that there. What else did I? Oh, block of the month is the 15th. I think that's this Sunday. And the block of the month is my friend Sylvia and Melissa and myself. I'll pick one thing. And why did my phone just go off? Hang on. Just making sure it's not my husband. Nope, not my husband. I think that's a warning that Dawn's video is going to be going up soon. Or it's put up, I don't know. But Oh, the three of us have a, I have lost my words all of a sudden. I'm watching chat to see if anybody new comes in. I think we all know who I'm talking about. Oh, prompt. That's the word I was looking for. I knew if I addressed the elephant in the room, then the word would come to me. We give a prompt, and each of us do whatever comes to our mind for that block. It started out 16-inch blocks. I'm not doing 16-inch blocks. I might never do 16-inch blocks, but that's what we do. I usually do a 6 or 8-inch block, and I'm telling you, mine's going to go in this, so it will be a 6-inch block. But we put those up on Sunday, 9 a.m. or not Central, Eastern Standard Time. That will be this Sunday. Don't miss Mom and Pop. Let's see if I can remember what I put them in there. M and P. They are on. That's our friend Laura Lynn, or Sunshine. I need to stop nicknaming people. They are on today with Cross Stitch Tuesday. They are on live Saturday with usually a quilting project related thing. And they put up videos during the week. They have a long arming video they put up. And on the weekends, I've noticed on Fridays, they put up a quick project, like a quick weekend project. And if you haven't seen the other day for her birthday, Laura Lynn got a double Dresden and did a video, and you need to see that. I've been messing with my Dresdens. I was like, oh, now I need a double one. But I've got this thing. So all I have to do is fold it under a 1/4 inch. And I thought about making a giant, it's called a stretched peri, I guess I should have it so you can read it. Stretched periwinkle template. A giant wreath. I'm thinking that would make a pretty giant wreath. I just don't have time to do it yet. Yay, it's working. Okay, and today's block, did I miss anything? Today's block will be Nordic. I'm organized, but I'm not organized. Nordic Sweater ladder variation. And the idea is they have it in a, let's see if I can show you their colorway without showing you. They have it in red and white. I flipped them to give them a different background. I'm not so sure I like this background. It's pretty, but all those gray dots, I don't know, make it look like it has dirt on it. To me, that's just me. So anyway, it's very easy block. We're going to do 2 at a time, 4 patches. And there's a couple ways to do them. This block, since I don't even know what size this has on the back, but I wanted a 6-inch block. And if I cut this in half, I know that half is 3.5. And so these need to be 3.5 when I do them. And these pieces right here need to be 3.5. So if you're doing the 12-inch, it would be 6.5. And these need to be squared down to 6.5 when you get there. And then put this on. That's how I did that. The bell rang. So that's what we're going to do. And first thing I'm going to do, and I'm using 5 inches. I think I could get away with smaller for these 2 at a time, 4 patches. But I want to square these down. My 4 patches don't come out all pretty all the time. So, and you're not using little bitty pieces. These are going to be big pieces. Hopefully I remember how to do it right, because yesterday I had to rip that one apart. I was like, am I remembering how to do this? No, I didn't. I didn't remember how to do it right. Can I tilt you a little bit? And, our high-tech way of moving my camera. All right, camera. Not really tilted. Why not misbehave? YouTube has been. These are compression gloves. I was quilting this quilt, and I've decided to fussy quilt each square because I'm a nut. was thinking it's going to take me at least 10 more hours to finish up, but these are compression gloves. Good morning, Sylvia. Thank you for joining us. She was having fun. Signal is bad on her end. Good morning, Dee Dee at My Big Tidy Up. And you can find links to all of them over there. Let's see. Angel also said, how do you know if we are standard or daylight time? After the Sunshine Act, I am so confused. So now I just say ET. I'm impressed that you keep that straight. When we watch TV here, everything is in Eastern time. So it'll say, this is how I remember it. It'll say 6 Central. So I know there's 1 hour. We lived in Washington State for a while, and over there it's 2 hours behind us. That's how I keep that straight. But when they stop doing the clocks, we're not all going to go at the same time. It'll still be that, I don't know, the Sunshine Act thing. I don't know. I don't know. You ask the hard questions. I should Google that. Dee Dee has pretty Christmas stuff over at her channel. Organizing, tidying. Let's see. Where was I? How's everybody else's signal? No, between standard and daylight time, silly. Oh, Angel says. Listen here, woman. Dee Dee says, oh, thanks, friend. I was just going to say, Tom Selleck ain't here. I'm already upset. Don't make me think. Angel came in when I did exclamation Angel, so I thought I'd give it a try, except for I'm still convinced I spelled his name wrong. First thing I'm going to do is mark the halfway point on these with my pencil. You can use anything but a gel pen, because last time I used a gel pen, I wore most of it. Let's see, 5 inches, half of 5 inches is 2.5. I'm already at 2.5, so my brain is clearly running faster than I am. Like I said, I'm going to square these down, so perfection is not. I do hope I have right sides together. I do. I've done that before. So now I've got the light fabric and the dark fabric right sides together. We're going to do a 1/4 inch on either side of that fabric. I have my 1/4 inch foot on, and I'm using a smaller stitch, a 1.8. I think they hold together better when I use a smaller stitch. Well, I use that for FPP, so either use leaders and enders, or I grab my thread to keep it from bunching up on me. I also have seam tape here, which this line goes directly on that seam tape. I'm going to turn it around, and we're going to do 1/4 inch on that side of the line. You know, I was just thinking, I don't know that I have daylight and standard time right in my head. I don't know that I do. It's just what I've always said. Clip that off, and now we're going to cut. Whoops, too much light, not enough light. Okay, we're going to cut on that line that we just sewed on this side and on this side up. I am making a sampler quilt, so that's why I'm doing these. I like sampler quilts. I just had it, but I put it away. I've got to stop putting things away. Wow, I am nowhere near the middle of that, but that's okay. I'm not going to put that back away. Forget where I put it. And this is where I mess up. And I'm going to look before I sew it this time. Okay. For the moment, I'm pressing both to the dark side. Let's see. Too early for thinking. I know, right? Angel says, Sylvia, maybe give the internet some of your tea. She give it all her tea. She doesn't like tea. Or pumpkin. No, she's never had pumpkin. She's never had pumpkin bread. She's never had pumpkin pie. People talk to her. And no, I did not send it to her. I thought about it. Everything is better with a great cup of English tea, Angel says. Okay, now we're going to put these two together. And we're going to do it right. Oh, look at that. I thought I did it like that last time. We're going to put the light to the dark on that side, light to the dark on this side. I'm going to nest these seams so the ridges touch each other on here. If you take your nail over that, you can feel a ridge there and a ridge there. And normally you press in between, but I'm a lazy quilter. And I'm going to pin that because I'd like to come out right though. Well, I was going to pin it. Or glue it. I could glue it, but I don't have my iron on to fast set that glue. I have the best ideas when they're not for me. Melissa was doing embroidery. I was like, you could use glue, right? She's like, yes, that would have saved my hands. I was like, why don't I ever think of that when I need it? Okay. So over here, if you peek, you have a light and a dark. And over here, if you peek, you have a light and a dark. And I've pinned them right there. Now, we've sewn this way. I'm going to put a line here, and we're going to do the same thing that way. I know, Angel. I know. She says, what? An English person who doesn't like tea. See, she says she doesn't drink tea. Okay, and the line here is going to be at 2.5 also for this one. The other one, I think I used a 7.5 inch. Do yourself a favor. Actually use 8-inch pieces, and then your halfway point is just 4, because I'm not doing the math for that today. I was doing it yesterday, and I mathed out. But no, she doesn't like tea. I just poked myself, and that hurts. So I've drawn a line. This light is way too bright for people, but it's great for sewing. I'm going to do a 1/4 inch on that side and a 1/4 inch on that side of the line. Hold my threads so they don't get all knotted up on me. Leaders and enders would be great. And in fact, I've got a great leader ender project with my, it's not going to be a double wedding ring. I'm going to call it an infinity ring. And it feels like those are still nested right there. Yay. I don't have to lift up my needle. I'm just going to turn around and do a 1/4 inch on the other side of that line. Oh yeah, this is super fast. Yorkshire tea is quality tea, Sylvia says she's told. I use the thingy that's on my machine, and I still do occasionally, but these snips, so much faster. Especially if you're doing FBP, way faster. Take those pins out. There is no sense in tempting fate. Let's see, Halo said, I'm shocked. Well, maybe you were taught how to make a great cup of tea. A great cup. My daughter dates an Englishman. He has taught me what great tea is. Ooh, fancy. That lady, Sophia, I watch, loves tea. She's a French lady. My great challenge. She's a much bigger channel than me. Sylvia says the internet's annoying her today, popping in and out all the time, but weather is really windy. Okay, now we're going to cut on that line we drew, or somewhere in between the two lines we sewed. I really need to take a look at this machine because I'm telling you, that is not, if I did a quarter on one side and a quarter on the other side, that should be close to a half an inch in between, and that's not. And that's too much math for this one. So they are right. They are right. Anybody else happy about that? And actually, they look really nice. They usually don't turn out looking so square for me. Halo says, when I use that method, I never get the right size blocks. Again, you impressed me. Thank you. These aren't going to be the right size. I'm going to trim them down. If I start out with a 4-inch, they would be the right size. But I was not. I wasn't going to do that. So this is why I said I was tired of math. This is going to be a 3.5-inch squared down at this point. Halo says, I love PG tips. I really don't know what PG stands for. And she says, trimming down is an awesome idea. Deborah likes peppermint tea. Christmas time peppermint tea, yes. Well, mine, these look, let's see. Wouldn't you know it, this one is actually 4.5 inches, which is what it was supposed to be had I got all my seams right. That never, ever happens. So I'm going to square it down to 3.5, which means I need to do the math for half of 3.5, which is 1.75. 1.5 plus a quarter down. 1 3/4. And I'm going to take, I should get the one up in the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find 1 3/4 here and 1 3/4 here. And my center of this block will be at that point where the 1 3/4 meet. You can't see what I'm doing. And that will give me, let's see. I'm going to put those on my seam lines. So I have my 1 3/4 on this seam line and my 1 3/4 on this seam line. Now, it seems like the math is whatever size you start with square, the two that you wind up with are going to be a 1/2 inch smaller. So if you start with a 5-inch square, you're going to have two 4.5-inch squares. I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm going to put my 1 1/4 seam on the seam. 1 1/4 marks 1 3/4. Oh, where's people? Here. And then I'm going to put my 1 3/4 on this seam also. I must not have done that right on the other side because that didn't look right. 1 3/4, 1 3/4. I must have slipped. Yeah. I don't trust me. So really, if you're 1 3/4 here and here, your 3.5 inch should be here, which is the size that you need. I generally don't like wasting fabric, and I think this wastes fabric, but I really wanted that to turn out square. Pressing would have helped. I also knew I wasn't going to press. Just give it a finger press. 1 3/4 again on the seams, and 1 3/4 on the seams. This way and this way. When I put the thumbnail, the picture in the thumbnail, I was thinking across in rows, but then when I saw it, I was like, that's 2 4 patches. Why would I do all that work when I can do this? And this side is just 3.5, and your quarter will be 1 3/4 will be there and here if you've done it right for the 6-inch size. So really I could have started with a 4-inch and I would have gotten my 3.5 inches with nothing to trim down. Ideally, I don't find things work out like that for me. Add a bit of milk and sugar. To the tea? That sounds good. Okay. Now I'm going to place these down here like I'm wanting them to come out. Like the picture. And I know that this runs from corner to corner. So I'll take this 3.5-inch square and I'm going to turn it over to that one. I'll take this 3.5-inch square and turn it to this one. And then sew my 1/4 inch. That's what it's going to be today. It's going to be a 1/4 inch today. Yeah, I don't think this 1/4 inch foot is quite right. I just realized that. It seemed fine before. I may have had a couple accidents with my machine over the weekend, hitting metal. Oh, grab that. Oh, let me think a second. That's not how that's gonna. I had it yesterday where. Okay, that one's actually gonna go on the bottom. Let me take this one off because I sewed it on the wrong side for my brain to do that right. I was going to wet piece them, but I ruined it, which means that I was going to leave the stitches in between and just fold them over together. Nope, ruined that. Okay. Now I'm going to put this one. See that bird is directional. Even though it doesn't have a head, I know it's directional. I'm going to put this over. It's little things. I can have all kinds of things upside down, but that right there for some reason. And when I put it in the quilt, it will probably be upside down. Do a 1/4 inch here. Oh. Does my light fabric have snowflakes on it? Yes, I got this years ago. I think it was on sale. That is snowflakes. It's got silver and gold snowflakes. I don't even know what it was. Okay. I press this one to that side, so I'll press this one. Generally, I don't press to the light. This light fabric has enough colors in it. It's not going to show. I thumbnail press because I like stretching my fabrics out of place. Line them up here, flip them over, and because we pressed opposite ways, these two are going to once again nest. There's a lip here and a lip here. You want to butt those two up next to each other. For some reason I could feel a gap. There we go. Doing pretty good in getting my seams lined up, so I'm going to put a pin in this. I'm going to put 2 pins. Make sure they stay that way is the idea. This is not the machine that hates intersections and will rip it apart anyway. I'd probably use that glue every time I use that other machine. That would be a good idea. It's harder to get that apart than push these pins around. Lining this up and my lower one up, and I'm not going over the pin today. Making sure the seam doesn't flip up on me. That's something I learned quickly. I need a trash can by me at all times when I sew. Let's see. How's this going to go? Is it going to spin? It might spin. Spin. But it didn't spin the way I had them pressed. Doggone it. Almost got a 4-patch. That's when you pull them apart at the seams and they lay down all nice and flat. So I'm going to use the big iron before I show you. After I show you. Ta-da! Here's the block, no matter which way you point it. And if you put a couple of these together, look what happens. You can make a circle with them. You can make an X. Well, if you put 4 together, it'd make an X, but then you would put the next ones together, it'd probably make it back to a circle. People who have made these probably know. But I decided to make 2, and I thought, well, I've got 2 of these right here, and these over here for the holiday hop, I did 2 of because I cut too many for 1, and if I was going to have enough for 2, I was going to make 2. So I'll have 2 of a couple. I may make 2 of more of them, but this is all going to go together in the vintage setting by 3 Yard Quilts, which, by the way, there's a link below. They have downloadable ones. Good morning. Good morning, Quilting in the Country. Lori, 3 Yard Quilts has downloadable patterns on their website. And Halo has some books at her store, which I got the Curve Appeal book because I'm going to do that. I don't get a lot of books, but that one I don't do a lot of curve piecing, and I want to. These seams don't know. They're supposed to be going the way I want them to go. I'm pressing from the back. And not because I want to set my seams, because we all know that I don't do that half the time, but because when I spray it with starch, I don't let it dry. And someone mentioned, I wish I remembered who, that if you touch it with the iron, then spray it with starch, it helps the starch dry faster. So you're also not making that mess on your iron. There we go. Nope, my seams are not perfect. Yes, I am okay with that. Actually, these are really good. These are really good in comparison. And when I'm doing a 4-patch, I find it helps to just, you can hardly see, just pull your fabric just a little bit to keep those pleats from getting in there. Kind of go at an angle. I can only tell you what I do. If you want the right way to do things, hey, have you met Angel? A different way to do things. I don't know, she may do it too. I'm just teasing her. I saw Lori, by the way. Let's see if I can get the command in there. I saw Lori went live last week. I haven't gotten to watch it yet. And this should be, I shouldn't have to do any trimming. This should be 6.5 inches. That is not the right side. There is 6.5 inches, and I've got a little bit out right here. Just that right there. So when it goes in the quilt, it will be 6 inches, which is perfect for the vintage quilt 3 Yard Quilt has for panels. And they have lots of different ones for panels. Did it not come up? Hang on, Lori, don't thank me yet. I think it broke. Let me see. Oh, I will share you. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, stop messing with me, thing. Give me a second, Lori. I'm having technical issues because clearly I don't know what I'm doing. No, I'm trying to make sure it opens in another one. And I clicked the wrong thing when I did that earlier. Here we go. It's always good to see her smiling face. Oops. And our friend Quilting with Stephanie Stitches is doing Vlogmas. I don't know how she does it. I don't have the bandwidth for all that extra stuff. There we go. There's our friend Quilting in the Country, and I'm going to find out why that's not working in the bot. Oh, give me just a second. This irritates me when the bot isn't doing what it's supposed to. It's the night bot. It may be a me problem. I went through and did a bunch of stuff. That's where you go. I'm going to have to fix that, Lori. Okay, now we know what happened. But that was a super fast block. Look at that. Quarter till. Ouch. Hang on. I hate bending over. That was in the floor. I was going to tell y'all. Isn't that adorable? I had a lot of comments about how tidy and organized my sewing stuff is. And y'all, it took me a long time to get to the point to where I could get things organized. I'm telling you, when I had 5 boys at home, there was organization. It was not that great. I kept feeling like a failure because everybody can do this. Why can't I? I did discover that having less stuff helped a lot. The less stuff I have to find a home for, the happier I am. So it took me. Yes, Deborah, computers are frustrating. And Dee Dee says, yes, you are very tidy. I do try. As I look around going, oh, there's some things I've done. I didn't make a big mess though today like I usually do. So I don't do a tidy after live. It's like, oh, there's nothing really to tidy. I have one little pile to put away. Oh, and I've got to change this machine back. I've got it comes with the bed for quilting. I've got to change that back so I can finish baby girl's stuff. And thank goodness I didn't get her ornaments sewn yet because she has changed from Toy Story to Minnie Mouse, which makes me very happy. I like Mickey and Minnie. But I didn't want anybody to look at how I was keeping things and think, oh, she's so organized. I suck at this. No. I wish I was, those shelves with all the fabrics on them, like a store and everything. That is my dream. But I know my brain would not like that as a reality for me. Some things it wants out, some things it wants hidden. I put it out. It doesn't like it. We hide it. So it takes practice. It's like a muscle you have to exercise to get everything, and everything's still not. My husband's taken over the garage. It's just driving me nuts. He says it's my fault that it's all discombobulated in there. It is not. I was going in there every spring and every fall and cleaning the garage and making sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And now he's taken over. It's not. Sylvia's back again. See how long we last this time. I haven't seen the news about the snow that everybody got last week. Lori, did you get that snowstorm up that direction? I haven't seen if it's melted off. If it's cleared off. It looked really bad. I was going to say, keep them in your prayers. My gosh, that's a lot of snow. Deborah says you don't want to see our garage. I organized our garage against my husband's, wishes. when we moved in, because we had several of those carry around toolboxes that each had a handful of stuff in them. I'm like, why do all these have a handful of stuff in them? So while he was gone to work, I ordered stuff to organize and a big toolbox and hooks for the wall, put things up on the wall. And I organized it all, and he is so happy I did. It's not like tools are a shared thing. There are certain tools I'm not supposed to touch, like the chainsaw. I don't think he wants me to touch the table saw, although I will if I want to. I actually, I thought this was funny. I got a much better grade in wood shop than I did home ec. Even though the little table I made in wood shop was a lot like my blocks, kind of wonky legged. The teacher, he's like, oh, we can fix that. He takes it over to the table saw and he's like, this is all you do. He measured the legs and cut them all off the same length. And I was like, of course, that's all you do. That's what Washington had in lieu of a business class in high school for me. I had a business class I was taking in Missouri. We went to Washington. They don't have that. And in lieu of another class that they didn't have, I had a study hall. And I was like, man, I feel like the smart one here. It was different. Buffalo and North Country got the snow. Lori says she didn't. Well, that's good. I don't know. Virginia, I think Virginia was further south than that line that I saw moving through last week. Deborah has 2 motorcycles in the garage. Sylvia says, we don't have a garage, so can't fill it with rubbish. When we moved in here, up until the pandemic hit, we were the only people on either side of the road, the street, that used our garage for our car. When the pandemic hit, we both decided to get something to try. And since I was trying to make masks, I did not do well, but I was trying. Since I was making masks, I got this. I had a smaller machine and it was giving me troubles, and it was not the machine. It was my lack of knowledge, understanding the machine. I know that now. It's in the garage still, by the way. So I got this, and he got a bunch of woodworking tools. He kept saying, well, I don't know. He wanted to make longbows, hand-carved longbows. And he's made 2. He hasn't been out there in a while. But anyway, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted tools to make. So I'd say, is this the kind of thing you're talking about? And then when he was gone, I'd order it and say, I ordered it. And after I say I ordered it, it's too late to turn around. He knows. So he's like, it's good to have a wife that's like that sometimes. So he decided to take the garage over for his woodworking, which was fine with me. I didn't care. Made himself a big woodworking table out there, which you guys saw in the acrylic cutting thingy. That's his woodworking table. We don't have the highest end, just like my machine. We don't have the best stuff, but it works. And if it works, who cares? Anyway, I'm going to get off here since I'm done. And my son would like the internet because he's mean. He's mean like that. Don't miss the dynamic trio, the 15th, with our block of the month. And over on Dawn's My Quilt Projects channel, she has today's last day of the holiday hop that Melissa Practically Creative, Sylvia Yumi of PP, myself, and Dawn at My Quilt Projects is doing. Let's see. Halo will be on Wednesday, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will be back here Tuesday. Don't miss Dee Dee at 5 o'clock. Plus, she does shorts. Check out the shorts. 5 o'clock Central Time on Fridays. My mouth started going faster than my brain was keeping up. So don't miss Dee Dee on Fridays. And the rest of my girlfriends and friends over here, I say girlfriends because that's just who I hang out with. I'm not trying to be sexist, Joe. It's okay. Guys, so too, just so you know. And she says, take care, everyone, quilting in the country. You will find the cutting fabric cut sizes that you need for the 6 and 12-inch block. It's not in PDF. It's just underneath the video, and it's on my community page, which you can find sales, links to people I think are good content creators. I need some coffee. And funny, sometimes just funny stuff. I am random. So that's okay. I put all the links in at the beginning. That's okay, Sylvia. You were getting fabric and the weather, and tech is not our friend. So I appreciate you being here, Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia. And thank you for everybody for joining me. I appreciate your time. And don't forget to catch me next week when I come back. Subscribe, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. I had so much more to say, but forgot as soon as that came out of my mouth. Ring that bell so you don't miss anything I put up, or go over to somebody else's channel and do the same. In case you didn't know that if you ring the bell and click all, you get to see everything in your notifications. Take care. Have a great week, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Be the light you hope to see in others.